Hello and welcome back to the Scam Watch Chronicles. In this episode today, I want to talk about a very touching scheme. It's called the Charity and Disaster Relief Scam. In this show, I'll try and help you to spot scams before they spot you. I'm your host, Ali Kabichi. And in today's episode, I'm going to talk about something that hits close to home because it targets our compassion. When disaster strikes or a tragedy makes headlines, many of us want to help, but then scammers know that too and they are ready to cash in on our kindness. So, charity and disaster relief scams. The setup. Why these scams work all the time. I'll go back to a scenario. When we see floods or wildfires or humanitarian crisis on the news, our first reaction or our first instinct is to try and donate. Scammers rely on emotion over logic. They create fake charities, they spoof legitimate ones, or they pretend to represent victims directly. So, what are they going to do? They might send emails or texts with urgent requests. Help earthquake victims now. Social media posts with photos. These are often stolen from real news stories. They also make phone calls claiming to be from well-known organizations like the Red Cross or UNICEF. The key tactic is always agency and empathy. They will say donations they are needed immediately, or every second counts, every drop counts, pushing you to give before verifying. In the next segment, we'll give a real world example. Let's rewind to a real case. After the devastating hurricanes in 2017, the FBI reported hundreds of fake websites that popped up within days, and all of them were claiming that they're helping victims of Hurricane Harvey. If you recall the hurricane in 2017, some men used nearly identical logos to legitimate charities. So it was a lot of busy mimic of the actual logos and scenarios. One fake site was titled the Harvey Relief Fund.org. This one is known to have collected thousands of dollars in donations before it was shut down. The money never reached any victim. Instead, it went straight into some offshore accounts. This kind of fraud resurfaces every single time there's a disaster, whether it's a wildfire, a pandemic, or some conflict zone. So, what do we want to do next? We want to spot the red flags. So, how do you tell a real charity from a fake charity? I'll give you some quick red flags. Number one, high pressure appeals. Donate now before it's too late. This becomes a plea. Number two, untraceable payment methods. They will request for gift cards, wire transfers, or crypto. Number three, vague mission statements. You notice that they can't explain how donations are used. Number four, fake or look-alike URLs. For example, redcross-help.com instead of redcross.org. This will confuse. And because you want to help, you can quickly assume that this is the correct URL. And they also use emotional photos with no source. They just can pull them from unrelated news and then they plug them in. So always take a minute to verify before you give. All right, how do we donate safely? So I'll give you what I call the Scam Shield, which is a checklist for safe giving. Number one, research the charity. You can use sites like charitynavigator.org, give.org, or guidestar.org. You can also go officially you can go to directly the official websites. Don't click on links in emails or social posts. Never. And then check the registration. In the United States, for example, in Australia, legitimate charities must register with relevant institutions. Then don't be afraid to ask questions. How will the money be used? What percentage goes to overheads? Those kind of questions. They will help you identify the fake ones. And lastly, you must report all suspicious charities. So there's the state consumer protection offices that you can always go to. But please, if anything looks suspicious, don't hesitate to report. And remember, real charities appreciate scrutiny, but the scammers do not. Once start scrutinizing and they notice that, they're likely going to run away or scurry for cover. There's a quick GoFundMe, fake ones that has really happened. You must watch out for this GoFundMe. They're always popping up. And don't forget that there are so many sites where crowdfunding is being called upon. In 2020, for example, there was a viral GoFundMe which raised over $100,000, and it was supposedly for wildfire victims. But the organizer had no connection to any of them. It took a tip from a local journalist to expose the fraud. If you are giving through personal fundraising pages, please confirm the organizer's identity and their connection to the cause. Final takeaway: compassion is powerful, but it shouldn't be blind. When disaster strikes, give smart, but please, not fast. The best defense against charity scams is always awareness and verification. Thanks for listening to these chronicles. If you found today's episode helpful, kindly share it, especially during times when scams spike after disasters. Next time, I'm going to dive into the darker side of online deception. Romance scams and emotional manipulation. I know I've spoken about them, but because I want you to stay safe, I'll give you an episode about them again. Stay smart, stay safe, and please keep your compassion protected. I thank you.